Well, welcome back to Gopher's Workshop. I'm your host, Aaron, and joining me, as always, is my fellow host, Chris.
You had so much energy today.
I drank like 3 Red Bulls and a Monster.
Okay. Do you need some some downers to go with that? Like you gotta balance that shit out.
My heart has a heart. It hurts.
I'm not even sure what that means.
So anyway, Chris, what are we talking about today?
So we're going to start today with, I have to make a correction.
Chris is wrong.
I don't want to say wrong, but less accurate for sure.
Of course you don't.
No, I will totally admit that I'm wrong about certain things, right? Like I will admit that I'm wrong. And there are times where I have objectively been wrong. Also, over the last couple of weeks, I've been helping, the team guys out get ready for Adepticon, as well as kind of everyone's processing through like the new detachments and stuff. And I had someone who specifically was like, okay, cool. I want to do the Bastion list. I'm tired of the detachment I've been playing. Here's my faction. I really want to do Bastion. I think it looks cool. And I helped him. And like, not only did I help them, but they were like, I feel like you helped me with the list. And I'm still not quite sure it's right. And I'm like, you know what we could do? I could start from scratch. We're playing your faction, right? But I could start from scratch and I'll build a Bastion list and we'll see how our lists end up differently. And I'm not saying I'm going to be right, but this will give us some like good ideas and we can discuss why we chose what. And maybe that'll help you like feel more comfortable with your choices. Mm-hmm. Or maybe I'll point some things out that you didn't think about and now you'll have a better direction to go. In doing so, this was related to Deathwatch. I built a Deathwatch list for Bastion and I fucking love that thing. Also, in doing so, after seeing how good it was, I was like, man, I kept saying the whole time that Black Templars were better. So I'm like, I wonder how crazy the Black Templar version would be. And I built the Black Templar version. And you know what? I don't mind the Black Templar version. It's still very good. Deathwatch is way better. I was wrong. That Bastion is a Deathwatch list. I was so wrong. Deathwatch is head and shoulders over Black Templar. And Black Templar is still a good choice, right? Black Templar, I still, after building it, I can see how good certain things are. So I'm still going to say like Ultramarine still wouldn't even mind running the Bastion list. Like they have way more options right now because they have like the tightest attachment, the Calguard attachment, but they still wouldn't mind running Bastion. But holy cow, does Deathwatch love that thing. I was super impressed. Gotta say, I was wrong. It's totally a Deathwatch attachment.
You heard it here first, folks. Chris was wrong.
Wow. Like, you don't understand. I knew the detachment was good. I knew that it was good for factions like Deathwatch. I did not fully understand how much Deathwatch was like, I have things specifically geared for this. And it's just impressive. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that they have like the mixed war gear options. So you can, not infinitely, but to some degree, you can really flex a single unit in multiple directions. So depending on which character you put with them, it was impressive. So watch out for that. Anyway, so because I was helping out the rest of the guys, we're working on double stuff, kind of discussing display boards and team comp and things like that. So we've got a bunch of stuff going on with the guys right now. It's very funny to watch them work out their team lists. There's a few of them that like they realize when we talked before about like you have to build your list with the team together, and that makes a lot of sense to them. But it's because that makes sense and they haven't done it before. It was a little funny to like discuss some of the lists with them, and they're just like, oh yeah, I think this would be great. And then I'm like, yep, that totally works with that one teammate you have. There's 2 others, right? And like with these 2 others, I don't know, we got away. I think everyone has ended up in a pretty good spot. They've started play testing their lists because I think everyone is basically solidified for the most part, 2 exceptions. But it's at this point, there's so many different combos between not only your own team, but also what are you playing against. That's going to take a while for them to kind of work through that and make some adjustments and figure it all out. And then I have been doing some playtesting myself. And this
you have.
This is where I think we get to have our discussion today. I don't know how far
this is the discussion. This is the episode.
Sort of, right?
Oh.
And I'm going to use me as an example, but I think it brings up some good points. I've been playing the new Destroyer Cults detachment for Necrons.
You have.
First off, I love this thing so much.
It's nasty.
Hilariously good.
Is this the new list you sent me, by the way?
No, I've been playing the first version that has like my own kind of bias and preference in it. And I do think long term, that's really good. I have a bad habit of I put a lot of my own preference in lists, which is not to say that that's wrong. But what's really funny is it seems like every time there's a points adjustment or like things change, my list, because they're so weird, tend to be like you have like a 10-point difference. It's basically the same list. I don't care that, so-and-so got nerfed. Yeah, the list is fine. This time I'm doing weird stuff. So that's kind of an upside for me.
Chris is doing weird stuff.
Yes. Anyway, so as much as that's true, I think the list I've been playing kind of fits in that weird stuff. Like I think even after points adjustments, because also I think I have a new hashtag for us. We got a long conversation.
Oh God.
But I think even after points adjustments, I don't know that my list really changes. I think it's in a really good spot. And I'm telling you right now, if they do points adjustments, like 5 points here, 10 points there, if they give me an extra, I think it was 45 points, this is my new comp list. It's that close for like compared to my other Necron list. If I had just 45 more points, I think I would get to the point where I'm like, nope, this is the thing. But I'm like, I've got 5 or 10 points floating. And if I had 45 more points to where I could have just a little extra flexibility by getting 1 extra model in a unit, I'm convinced it's here. Now, the part of this discussion that really matters though is, so I built this list and I started playtesting it. And I immediately playtested against like 2 Knight players in a row. One was Chaos, one was Imperium. And I did that because I knew that this list probably struggles the most against Knight lists. So I wanted to make sure that I could still deal with it through like good play and stuff. Well, after I play tested it over the weekend, I started messaging you because I kind of had like this little epiphany. Like, I've got a solid brick of points, like 600 some points that I put in the list that feels great to me. I think it's a good idea, but it's so like me. It's weird. It's not the easy, efficient choice. It's still good and it's better in some ways than the other choices, but it's still kind of like most people probably aren't going to do this. And it just kind of hit me of like, why am I making this more complicated on myself? Yes, it is better in certain ways, but the other thing would be better in certain ways and would be objectively simpler. And this is kind of the discussion I want to have of like, there's an acceptable level of you have a preference. Well, I love the Space Marine bikes, or I love what jump pack guys. Like I know you love jump pack guys.
Oh, I love jump packs.
So it's okay to have that preference, and it's totally okay to do that thing. It's not that it's not good, right? You can totally make those things great. But is that like the simplest choice? Not always. And you do not need to pick the simplest choice, but also, if you're not picking the simplest choice, you have to give yourself time. I've been, again, working with the team guys, and it's really funny to see some of the guys who like choose a complicated thing. And they choose the complicated thing because they think it's cool. I'm on board. But then they like play their first game and they get kind of stomped because they're playing a complicated thing and they haven't practiced it. And then they're just immediately like, oh, the list wasn't good enough. I got to change it. And I'm telling you, right, like there was a practice game the other day where everyone at the table, his teammate, both of his opponents were like, no, you had a rough game. I don't know that you need to change the list yet. You should play it again against like a different matchup and see if that helps. But he was just so convinced of like, nope, it's bad. I had such a bad game. There's no way. That's not fair. That's not fair to yourself. That's not fair to like, in this example, your teammate.
What faction was this?
So he had a sisters list. And again,
okay.
The sisters list is not bad. We talked about it. I think it makes sense for the team. But he played what was arguably one of his not the best matchups for him as far as team members.
I remember this one.
And then they went against arguably that combination's worst matchup. It was like knights and space marine tanks, and it was like all toughness all the time. And then like sisters are never necessarily that good at tank busting. They can do it, but it's like through miracle dice and stuff, right? They're not like designed for, I could spam last.
It's kind of like the list I run. Mortal wounds is my tank busting, not actual tank busting.
It's not that you're designed that way, but you can still do it.
It's volume versus
right. So it was really like kind of an odd conversation to have, because the whole time like he's upset that he lost, and I totally get that, right? Like we're upset when we lose. We're trying to win. We're trying to play smart. And his like teammate was like, no, we could have screened better, and we could have like, again, yes, he still lost, but also his teammate is all like, but we could do better. And he's thinking about like choices, not the list change. They've already done that is in their head, right? But he's like, we could make choices better. And through the frustration of losing, the sisters player wasn't like, well, we could do choices better, but also the list is the problem. And it's like, I'm not saying that he couldn't make a better list, but I am saying like, you put real time into that list and then you had one bad game, which arguably you intentionally did one of your worst matchups.
So
it's
you can
already
figure out
supposed to be hard.
Absolutely. You skewed the,
You got to give yourself breathing room. You got to give yourself time to learn. I was talking with one of the night players, the Chaos Knight player, almost a week ago now. And he was getting, let's not say frustrated, but he was in this position of like, man, I feel like I know what I'm supposed to do, but I don't know how to do it. And I'm like, you're absolutely right. But that's not a criticism. You got to give yourself time, man. Like, he's like, I don't know how to deal with Necrons all that well. And it's like, how many times have you played them? Twice? Like, you got to give yourself time. Like, there's no one who's going to be like, well, I've never played against Thousand Suns. And they just first time nail it. That's not how it works. We all have to practice. Even me, I played against Thousand Suns the other day. I still did good and I still won. But also I played against Thousand Suns so little, I was asking questions like he was teaching me. I'm like, wait, what's the melee on that again? Will your Terminators have AP1 or AP2? Oh, it's AP2? That's crazy. Like, I'm sounding like a new player, even though I know quite a bit. It's not that I don't know what's going on.
It's that you don't. It's not a frequent flyer program for you.
So it's one of those things that's like, I have a pretty good idea. I know these guys are really good against that. I know these guys are really good against that. But do I remember exactly why? Okay, that's the rusty part, right? Like, I haven't played against Thousand Suns in a long time. It's not that I don't know what they do. I'm still fully aware. Okay, that giant brick of Terminators, they have uppy downy. They have like -1 to wound, so they're super tough. And like, also, on a side note, I got the whole time I was playing against him, I was just laughing in my head about how upset I was about wolves. Because, like, okay, first off, the lore is wolves and Thousand Suns hate each other, right? It's like the wolves like went and punished them, they burned their planet and stuff. So Thousand Suns are really mad about that. Fair. But the whole time we were talking, like, Thousand Suns have always had a bonus AP because that's like their psychic bullets or whatever, right? Like, I don't have a problem with that. But it's so funny to me how like every bolter they have is like AP2. Okay, so you have an extra AP because they're psi bullets or whatever. Okay, cool. I'm over here, Wolves player, being like the only Marine left who's still running AP0 bolters.
I can't even get one.
If I was playing Wolves instead of Necrons, I'd be over here shooting at Terminators 2-up armor with these AP0 just yelling across the field, but it ignores cover. And then like the fucking Terminators are looking at each other like, man, if Magnus lost to these guys, maybe he did deserve it. Like, who cares that it ignores cover? It's AP 0. You suck.
Beat it, nerd.
Anyway, that's
I was wolf nerd.
I was laughing to myself like while we were playing the whole time because like Thousand Sons are really good, right?
They are.
They have a model count issue. They're very elitist army. Also,
very much so.
Man, you want to talk about like AP2 across the board? Oh no, my flamers only have AP1, but it also ignores cover, so it's actually like 1.5. Haha, gotcha. Like really, really good.
We were talking the other night. He's like, I can get my bolters up to AP5. Why?
He was shooting at me with like AP4 bolters. And
That's
I'm over
ridiculous.
here like, you're right. And I'm over here like, but I've got my Illuminar, so it's actually AP3. Thank God, 6-up save. Like, oh no.
They are very scary and they hurt.
Absolutely.
I've only fought Thousand Sons once. And during that matchup, I immediately went, cool, I can't expose myself even a little bit, because I am absolutely toast.
And I don't want to get on this tangent for too long, but yeah, Thousand Sons have hilariously good AP. And the one time where it's like better than average AP, but not hilariously good, it still is like, it's on flamers. So you have like 8 auto hitting flamers with surprisingly good AP, and they're like kind of twin linked for no reason. And you're right. I don't want to. Can I just not play? Like, can I just? I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna fight somebody else. This objective is yours. I'm gonna go fight that guy.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, this whole concept that I've been trying to get at though is experience is not a thing you can rush. I don't care how many times you read through your codex. I don't care how many YouTube videos or even podcasts you're listening to. Yes, do they help? Absolutely. I'm literally here trying to help teach you a thing, but I don't care how much you learn from me. You've got to like experience it. You have to put it into action. Mm-hmm. It's not going to, well, I listened to their like the battle report like 4 times. No, I figured it out. No, I don't care how many times you watch the battle report. You're not going to like just win against Necrons the first time you play them. Maybe you get lucky. Maybe the Necron player is really bad, but also the game it has so much going on at once. You have to experience it. You have to play it enough where parts of what you're doing, you don't have to think about. They just feel more innate. I don't know why this brick of dudes is supposed to fight that brick of dudes, but I know in my head without even thinking about it, I should send those JPI over at that thing because they're gonna handle that really well. Now, maybe as I automatically think that, I should still slow myself down and be like, but is that the most optimal? Yes. But you don't want to be in a position of like, I'm thinking about what's most optimal because I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. Mm-hmm. And that is prevented by, again, getting more games in, playing against the factions that you're bad at again and again, because you get more comfortable with it. All right. So going further on this concept, not give yourself a break, get some experience. But also, like I originally kind of started, sometimes simpler is better. I want to use an example here that we've talked about before with redeploys. Redeploys, in my opinion, have like this reverse bell curve. When you are a new player, when you are like just learning a new faction, when you are like, I'm playing against factions I've never played against before, redeploys can be incredibly powerful because they're forgiving, right? I totally misdeployed. I have no idea what I'm supposed to deploy first, so I'm going to place this thing that I know I'm going to redeploy so I can just gain more information. They're really good early skill level. Mm-hmm. In the middle, you start to get your deployments down, your counter deployments down, and you're like, redeployments feel wasted, right? Because by the time you're like, oh, I can redeploy up to 3 infantry units, hell yeah. And then you look at your deployment and you're like, well, I feel like I kind of got it. I guess I'll redeploy this one, but I'm feeling pretty good with where I'm at. So now it feels wasted when you have like good skill, but you're not great. Then you get to the greatness, right? Okay, well, now that you're super skilled, now you are intentionally using redeploys to do feints. I'm going to deploy this over here because I know I'm going to convince my opponent to not put tanks over here or to put the fights first unit on this side of the table, knowing that I'm going to redeploy it. Well, now it's really good at the high skill gap, right? So if redeploy, same rule, no changes based upon my skill level, becomes either incredibly forgiving but not powerful, to completely wasted, to not necessarily forgiving but incredibly powerful. Again, that's a lot to change for 0 wording difference.
Yep.
So all of this connects with the idea that sometimes simpler is the right choice. If you are, let's say, you're playing a new detachment, so you're not really, like, you know what your faction does, but you're not really comfortable yet. If you are playing a new faction, if you are getting into the game because I played like back on indexes for 10th and I didn't play for a while because work or kids or whatever else, sometimes you need to take simpler. Sometimes simpler is the right answer. I literally spent an hour staring at a list and then started messaging you trying to confirm, like, no, but is simpler better here? Am I overcomplicating this? It's
we
not that I
actually talked about that for a bit too.
Yeah.
And I agreed that simpler in that situation, simpler might be a little bit better.
Now, I do think simpler, and this is where we get to talk about Reddit, my least favorite part. I do agree that simpler is better. Simpler also tends to be what the majority of people play. So when you're playing the simpler thing, it's also way more likely that it's going to, get points changes because the volume of people that are playing it. It's way more likely that the simpler thing gets more eyes on. So maybe your opponents start to gain more information via the internet about how do I counter this thing, right?
Yep.
Like everybody knows, I want to say everybody knows, more people know how to counter Judy than they know how to counter a bunch of other things.
You're
Why?
Right.
Because she's played so often. It's not that she isn't good. It's not that she isn't like complicated sometimes, but also there's so many people playing with it and against it. It's just easier to figure out what's going on. So anyway, the as it relates to Reddit, the simpler thing is I was choosing to play no Satan. First off, the Destroyer Cult Detachment does not benefit Satan basically in any way, right? It specifically calls out the strength buff does not apply to monsters, which they are. A bunch of the stratagems, say like non-Titanic, non-monster, like they are going out of their way to say like, nope, Satan are a separate thing. There's nothing wrong with that. That's totally fine. Necrons are, again, a great example of not everything has to apply and it still might be worth playing. The uppy downy detachment was the number one answer for a very long time in 10th edition. 4 out of 6 stratagems say monolith only, and then also no one played a monolith, and it was still the right answer. So I had this like, again, I don't know what to call it, this idea, this epiphany of like, okay, I know I'm not supposed to play Satan, but also Satan are good standalone. Am I overcomplicating it with a bunch of like synergy and tricks when I could just play big dumb guy and go forward? And I think that might be the right answer from the perspective of simplicity and from the perspective of it is objectively more tank busting than what I'm currently running, which means in my worst matchup, it is better. Now I'm giving up something, right? So now if I ever go into a horde matchup, whether it's guard or maybe nids or something like that, okay, Satan are not as good at clearing out hordes as multiple bricks of like immortals. All right, you got me. So I am giving up something. It's not like it's a objectively better answer, depends on your matchup. But it is simpler and it does fix what like my currently worst matchup. Do I play the simpler thing? Now, for me personally, I feel like the answer should be no, because I know this complicated thing well enough. I can surprise people. I can catch people off guard because I know about this weird thing that other people don't. Also, there's an argument to long term. If you're one of those people, like, let's say air quotes, if you're chasing the meta, the answer right now, according to Reddit, is Satan, right? They're the coolest thing under the sun right now. Okay, well, maybe you play Satan because that's right now the best option. Maybe you play Satan because it is simpler and you're trying to learn this new detachment. Maybe you don't play Satan because A, the detachment kind of says not to. And also, with the way Reddit is going, even if they don't deserve it, it is very likely Satan are going to go up in points. First off, here's my hashtag for you. Reasonable reaction Reddit. That's just
hashtag reasonable reaction Reddit.
Yep. Because I'm telling you right now, Satan are one of the best examples. There are multiple this edition I'd like to point out, and I have before. But Satan, it's so funny. Satan got their data sheet changed. And immediately, all of Reddit was like, holy shit, thank Christ. They finally got nerfed.
But they didn't.
They didn't.
You know what?
No, but
that's not true. You know who did get nerfed? Your Nightbringer did get a little nerfed. He doesn't get to heal up anymore from sucking out wounds.
He didn't before. That was the Void Dragon.
I thought he did.
No, that was the Void Dragon.
Okay. Well, I apologize. He didn't get nerfed at all then.
No, but this is what I'm saying. Like, we had only the data sheet. We didn't even have points yet.
And they were like, it's
and
nerfed.
Everyone's like, holy shit, thank Christ he got nerfed. And I'm over here like, how could you possibly say that? I understand the rules worse, but also if he drops 50 points, hell no, he didn't get nerfed. He got 50 points cheaper. I'll take that any day. Again, we didn't know what the points were going to be. So it was like, how in the world do you say that? And then shortly thereafter, we did get the points. It's like, oh, he went up in points. That kind of makes sense. And it's like, okay, how does that make sense? And the argument a lot of people are saying like, oh, well, there's this new Satan detachment that'll make him better. And then also like, you know, he got nerfed, but also we're trying to nerf Satan. So it makes sense they went up in points. It's like, okay, well, first off, I don't know that we're trying to nerf Satan, but let's say we are. And then what happened is 3 days after we got the points update? Well, then there was a bunch of people who actually did the math. And it's like, no, he's weaker against like one data sheet per faction. Like every faction has a data sheet that's like, okay, well, I have this one gun that's like D6 plus 6 railgun, or D6 plus, 4 tank and space marines, or like
D6 plus crazy shot. Yeah.
Almost every faction has like a vehicle that does that, or a data sheet that does that. Okay, cool. Against that, objectively, you're right. What's 70+% of the damage stats that everyone has in their list on the table at any given time? 1, 2, or 3. If that's at least 70% of your list as an average, then as an average, there is zero difference in the damage change or damage modifier.
Yep.
Oh, except for I have 4 more wounds for 10 points. Holy cow, am I way tougher. Okay, so with all this in mind, then Reddit did like this lull of there was a tiny period of like nobody really said anything. And then all of a sudden, like flipping a coin, we flipped a pillow over and all of a sudden everyone was like, yeah, Satan got way better. They're totally a problem now. And now all of Reddit is like, Satan are the problem. They're so crazy. And like they were crazy before, but now they're so much better. They got to get like a points nerf or something. Like, okay, first off, is that true? Or did we just go from one reasonable reaction to another? I don't know. Are they good? Absolutely. Do they deserve a points adjustment? I don't know, maybe. But regardless of that answer, am I just going to like, well, one guy did a video on the math and look how he's tougher in like 5 of 7 categories. Yeah, he needs a nerf. No, calm down. I'm not saying that he doesn't need a nerf. I'm just saying like, how can we go from one unreasonable reaction to another, and then we're all just going to agree on that? These are exactly the situations that we have, just like your Blood Angels, just like Custodes.
Yep.
Somebody gets a data sheet change or a points change, and then everybody and their mother on the internet says, oh, that's crazy. And then we find out that it's not, after they already nerfed the points. And then a year from now, all the points get adjusted again, and we go back to the original number, and everyone's like, yeah, that makes sense. Mephiston.
Yeah. Yep.
Mephiston was the codex came out. Everyone said he's nuts. Look what he does. This is crazy. And then he went up by a bucket of points. And then he got a points reduction after that because he was like underplayed. And then after the points reduction, people started playing him again. And they realized that like he's fun, he's good, he's probably a little too expensive. And he got another points reduction. And now he's basically back to what the original codex said.
Oh no, he is 100% back to what the original codex was.
So we reasonable reactioned our way into just having a bad time because we couldn't take a step back and say, maybe we shouldn't listen to Reddit. Maybe we should, at the start, at least listen to the players who are actually playing Necrons. Well, I'm not even saying they're going to get it right.
It's the same.
But at least they're more likely to get it right.
I've been slowly but surely talking about this. I think this is a good part of our episode to talk about, right? This is the episode. Reasonably react to things. All right, that's the episode right here. I need you to have reasonable reactions. So
first off,
I've mentioned
I have reasonable reactions. The rest of the goddamn world.
So all right,
except for Space Wolves, I'm going to be unreasonable, and you can't stop me.
But I've mentioned multiple times that Blood Angels got all these weird points adjustments and everything else, and it wasn't necessary. Yeah. And like, oh my God, like, okay. Another example is like, oh, everybody was complaining for a while. This was last year before Codex dropped. Yeah. How the Sanguinor was so broken, he needs points adjustments. And then all I've heard all year since I started playing him all the time was he's not actually that good. He does a job and it's okay, but he dies 90% of the time he comes onto the field. You're right. And that's what he's actually here to do. Stop you from doing things. Why are we going crazy? Because he wiped out an entire unit of infantry? Yeah, he's an infantry killer. That's his job.
But see, that's where it again, is it a reasonable reaction? We said he was broken. Okay, that probably wasn't true. But let's say, with that being said, GW listens to us.
You're right. That's why we need to calm down.
Right. 90% of the points adjustments that GW does is not for balance. They are to appease the masses because they're a business, right? Like, how do I sell models? By keeping people happy and playing. Okay, you're saying you want this to go up in points. You want this to go down in points. I understand. It's proven by the fact that how many data sheets have had no points changes and have been almost entirely unplayed.
Yep.
If you're telling me that there's no one willing to even attempt to touch that data sheet, those points are probably wrong, right? It clearly isn't doing enough. But since no one's talking about it, well, the points have never been adjusted. So this thing was supposedly broken. We told them to up the points. They said, you got it, absolutely, whatever you want. So they upped the points. And now that the points got upped by, I don't remember, I want to say it was like 20 points. Okay, well, that 20-point difference made him from he was broken to almost everyone is saying, why are you putting him in your list? You should just play Mephiston and be done. What, you're telling me 20 points is the difference in my whole list, 20 points from a broken model. You're borderline cheating, but legally. And why are you playing that? He's awful.
You're right.
There's no data sheet in the whole game where 20 points makes that much of a difference.
You mean the same reaction we had with the aggressors when everybody was taking them in the, what was it? The
Flamestorm?
Was it Flamestorm? They were taking lethal with Biologus.
Oh, no, that's Gladius.
Gladius, yeah. So they were taking them they were all taking it with the Dark Angels, wasn't it? Back in the day when the points got up.
Honestly, it was with a lot of factions. It was considered a generically good Marine thing. And I always said it was a bit overrated. But again, as I stated earlier, it was a simple thing, right? Like, it is clear, easy to math. I totally understand what's going on. I do not care what your toughness is because I'm fishing for lethals. I do not care how many models you have. I can very easily math what's going to happen so it's simple. So
You're
I can just understand it.
And they upped the biologist by like 15, 20 points. And then they upped the aggressors by another like 15, 20 points. And now it basically became an unplayable. I remember because I was playing aggressors at the time because I just liked how they looked, right?
Mm-hmm. And you continued to play them.
I did. And they were still good.
But you weren't playing the biologist combo.
I wasn't. I was playing the melee combo.
Sure.
Capin. Anyway, the answer was they became more expensive for me for no reason. And at that point, it felt like I was being punished for not doing the crazy combo everybody else was doing.
Sure.
But also, it didn't seem reasonable. Now I have them on my list. I had a bunch of weird stuff on my list. We were testing things out. The aggressors fit, but it didn't seem reasonable that they had their points adjusted because I never felt like when I was using them, they were doing that much crazy stuff. Sure. And we had to have a whole discussion about how, everybody else is using them with lethals and, they do a bucket of damage. And
right. And this was a while back, to be clear.
It was.
But part of the thing I think you're getting at is, while that is true, even though that combo has never changed, it still totally exists.
Yeah, it absolutely still works.
We have seen a reduction in costs for aggressors.
25 points. Not even the original amount of points that it was increased by.
Yeah.
That's my point.
So, is it actually crazy? Or are we just having kind of unreasonable reactions? I think it is objectively true that we're having unreasonable reactions.
I have this is part of, so you inspired me last night when you sent me this list. And this is why I said I want to talk about all this. You inspired me because all of this crazy talk about how the shards are crazy and the shards are crazy. And oh my God, we've had a discussion about how, one damage gets to go through statistically 50% of the time. I created a Blood Angels list that has nothing but mortal wounds. Just a bucket of mortal wounds.
It
devastating wounds, mortal wounds. It maximizes it, right? Every unit's got a chance to do it. So the minute I play this list, I guarantee you, because I'm going to play it, guarantee you somebody says, that's so broken. No, I just maximized a thing.
Right.
While minimizing others.
To be fair, and this has always been true. When you play a skew list, in certain matchups, it's going to feel unfair.
You're right.
Because you have leaned so heavily into something that if you go into that matchup that you were designed to be good at, it's going to look unfair. I paid 315 points for this model, and you just laughed it away in a single turn like it was nothing. I didn't even get to roll a save. I got some feeling pains, I guess, but I didn't even get to roll a save. This is bullshit. Also, because it's a skew list, every skew list, you are, with my same example of my list earlier, everything you purchase, you are giving something else up. So your same skew list, you were spending so many points on dealing mortal wounds that the minute you get to something like a horde, like you go against a Gene Stealer cult player, and they're going to be like, or even an orc player. I have so many bodies that have such terrible saves. I don't care that you do mortal wounds. You know how cheap those guys were?
Can you do 20 mortal wounds?
The first half of the unit in the first place.
You're right.
As long as the second half gets there, you're dead. So, yes, it doesn't mean that this list won't be called broken by somebody.
You're right.
But also, you're going to play matchups with the same list, no changes, against a different opponent, and you're going to wonder why things are so expensive. You could not keep up.
You're right. And that is the point of this list at this point is I started building it, was like, oh, this would be funny. And then I started to realize this is not a great matchup against like Gene Stealers or Orcs, Green Tide, or like, oh my God, I am going to lose my pants off. Right. And sure, I have a bucket of attacks with some of these units. The minute those units are gone, good luck.
Right. And for what it's worth, like, again, you are specifically paying a premium because you are spamming a thing. You're skewing to mortal wounds. Mortal wounds are amazing.
They are.
But also, they're expensive.
They are.
Right. And this is true for anybody else, right? Knight players, you are paying a very high premium for being extremely tough, having so many wounds that, like, as long as you still got 3 wounds left, even if you're bracketed, the amount of damage you're putting out is a lot. I don't care that you're -1 to hit. It's still a lot of damage. Well, you're paying a premium for that. And that premium means that you don't have a lot of good action monkeys. You don't have, when you lose a knight, it feels bad. That's okay. There's balance in that, but you have to accept that there's like a level of skew there.
Yep.
This is why most people, including a lot of competitive people, I would like to point out, like the pro players, a majority of them are playing relatively balanced lists, relatively take-all-comers lists, not because they couldn't skew and totally crush some kids, because they could, but they're playing relatively balanced lists because the most competitive answer isn't win harder. The most competitive answer is win more often, which means you have to have a reasonably good chance to win against everybody all the time. Now, when you go up against a skew list and that skew list deals with you really well, we got a hard game ahead of us. But the fact that you still have an acceptable chance to win because the game is balanced and you have a balanced list, that's okay. If you want to play a skew list because you think it's funny, because you like the aesthetic, because whatever else, that's all acceptable. But you don't get to be mad at the points. You don't get to raise hell on Reddit about like, this thing's so broken, it needs to go up in points. No, that's a skew list that's different. You gotta take a step back because GW will listen to you. You may not believe them. They will.
But this is what happens every time we complain about the skew. GW goes, oh, must be broken. They go and fix the skew. And then 3 to 6 months later, everybody goes, I don't know why that was done.
Right,
how dare you?
They're playing those skew things in balanced lists. And in balanced lists, those price points don't make sense.
You're right.
Now, some of this is not to say that it's entirely our fault, right? Like there are multiple ways to fix this. First off, I'm suggesting the one that is within our control, which is to have more reasonable reactions.
You're right.
However, there are plenty of things that are outside our control. GW, and I have kind of said this since the beginning of the edition, I think if you're already doing supplements, it's really not too much more effort because they're a giant company making billions of dollars to have different points levels for generic units based upon your faction.
Yeah.
If aggressors were pointed differently for Space Wolves than they were Blood Angels, I'm not opposed to that. Also, there's no way you can explain to me how like regular intercessors getting the double shots and everything should be the same number of points in an Ultramarines list as they should in an Imperial Fist list.
You're right.
They ain't doing the same thing. Both of them like that unit. Both of them like the unit.
You're right.
But also,
for totally different reasons,
they are not the same, right? And that's with like a basic generic unit that's not even that fancy. You get into Blade Guard or whatever else, like, oh god, no, there are some units that just shine like crazy in certain factions.
I would admit, having Blood Angels having to pay a little bit more of a premium for some Blade Guard, I'm not attested to that.
Right? I mean, you have 25% more attacks on average, and you have 2 extra strength, which means you're basically getting +1 to wound. Where the only other person that's doing that is arguably like Ultramarines with a double oath, and then only against the oath target, not all the time because you said so. Like
again,
that's
I'm
real.
not attested to paying some premiums in certain areas. Like there, even the JPI, like. As much as it pains me to say it, since they're my favorite unit, I love how cheap they are.
Yep.
I think there's a reasonable choice to making me pay a little bit more of a premium to use those in Blood Angels.
There are examples galore, right? Like Vindicators.
Yeah.
Vindicators are 185 currently. Obviously, they could change. For several factions, why would you buy them? A Gladiator's cheaper and arguably more consistent. Do not buy a Vindicator. That's bad. And then we go to like the Kanikvar Iron Hands. Well, now I'm getting reroll 1s and 1s. And if I take a Tech Marine to bonk me for, +1 to hit, even if I don't shoot at the oath target, I'm hitting on 2s, rerolling everything because it's 1s, and then wounding on 2s, rerolling 1s to wound. You're dead. Like no, 185 makes a ton of sense there. They're spammable. Matter of fact, if you're playing Kanikvar in his detachment and you're not running 3 Vindicators, I'm going to call you out for why. And the only kind of acceptable answer is I don't own 3. Like, it's that good.
It is pretty good. I watched it in action. It hurts.
Right? But again, same person. I'm not playing Kanikvar. I'm not playing his detachment.
Yep.
Well, now Vindicators are expensive. Why would you play a Vindicator in a Raven Guard list? That's a terrible idea. Take the Gladiator Lancer.
Yep.
It's more consistent. It's better. It's longer range.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason to pay $185. That's a terrible choice.
Right. We have skipped through. We have talked, and we have completely skipped through our mid-break.
For those who are wondering, this is how about half of my 40K conversations
You're
happen.
right.
Hey, I got a quick question. How does this rule work? And it devolves for the next 20 minutes of just like, I could have answered the question in a single sentence, but I tried to like explain the things that like I felt like I was educating someone.
Yep.
And that turned into a whole conversation about some dumb stuff.
It's all right. And listen, we can have a rant episode once in a while. All right. The listeners deserve a Chris rant once in a while. I think,
I don't know that
all in all, I think this episode was helpful and good. And that's the important part of this podcast, right? We have hinted at, we've even spent like 10, sometimes 15 minutes of an episode talking about how you shouldn't trust Reddit. These are all the reasons why. We've even talked about like stop overreacting. This is why. The nutshell, the moral of the lessons here, right? Stop overreacting to stuff before it actually gets even played. We are reacting to things before we even get full details.
Even if they are played, I'm going to end DACA detachment. This is again, it's a prime example. It's not about that you haven't played against it or you haven't played with it. It's that you cannot judge something on one or even two games.
Mm-hmm.
Again, SKU lists are a primary example.
Yep.
If I take a SKU list and I play against things that like I'm designed to deal with, I'm going to look amazing for even 10 games in a row. But the minute I play against something I'm not skewed against, now I'm going to get a very different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So a part of having a reasonable reaction, and I'm using that actually correct this time, is about if I'm going to react and I'm going to state that this needs to go up in points, down in points, whatever, I cannot say that until I have experience with it in varied capacity. Like I have to play at least 3 different games against 3 different styles of lists before I'm allowed to have an opinion.
Yep.
Right? You can totally have an opinion and you're like worried about it. I get it. But your having an opinion should not happen on Reddit until after you've played a minimum of 3 games against 3 very different lists. Cannot be against the same person, cannot be against the same faction. 3 different things. Then you can say, well, so far I've experienced X. And it's not even to say like, nope, so I've proved it. It does need to go up in points. That's not what you say because that's not a reasonable reaction.
You're right.
It's, hey, here's my experience. Here's who I played against as far as factions and the style of list. And based upon my experience, I'm concerned we should look at upping the points. And then you start a conversation. Well, my experiences, and this is how the internet works really well. We are supposed to be pooling resources with, I don't have time to play 3 games every week. But you know what? If I get in a game a week and so do you, and so do every other guy that shows up here, well, now we have so many games in this week alone, we could probably make an informed decision. But if I get a game in and I start spouting and convincing everyone, this has to change, it's crazy. It doesn't matter how many other games got played this week. We've already like given the wrong information. Even if I'm right, I'm still going to say it's the wrong information.
Yep. Well, with that being said, Chris, do you have anything else for this episode?
Nope. But since we skipped the mid-break, it is very important this week that we
discuss the mid-break.
Sure, I guess. I was going to say thank our patrons. But
you're right. I also want to actually focus on something this particular episode. So first up, let's do the first and most important thing. Thank our patrons.
Yes.
Patrons. So first up, big thank you to our Guardsman patrons. There's 2 of them. Oh, ha, ha.
The guard is growing.
Oh, no.
We have conscripted them.
So huge thank you to Sergeant Matt's Mini Minute. And do we say Sergeant Andy too? Is that as this works?
I don't
This is
know.
automatically a sergeant.
It's going to be really odd when the captain ups to the sergeant rank. I don't know how that works. Anyway.
We also have to thank our White Shield Guardsman patrons, Mitch, Nicodemus, Taburus, and Captain Beefalo. And of course, we can't forget our lovely little servo patrons, Dez and Renee. Thank you to our patrons. They are growing. You make all this possible. And don't forget, you get all kinds of bonus goodies. Go use them.
Like GW, we are listening to you guys.
We are.
Our little servo Renee had some requests, and we made a short for him so that he could fight back against his friends a little better. And yeah,
you're right.
We're here to help.
Great. That also being said, I want to let everyone know in the community a thing that I just recently learned this year is Warhammer Heroes is a thing. Did you know about this, Chris?
Yes.
So a quick little recap of this article, and the link will be in the show notes for you. Warhammer Heroes nominations are live. You can nominate your unsung local heroes who shaped your Warhammer journey. So I mention this because as a person who started their Warhammer journey with Chris, I of course am going to nominate Chris, but also
don't do it.
I think it's important for you to reach out to like your local game stores and things like that, like the people who have forged your relationships with Warhammer.
And sometimes it's just about like the amount of not just money, but also the amount of time and effort that goes into organizing certain events. We have a game store that's like an hour away or something, but there's a game store that I know their entire 40K whole community is built around one guy who doesn't even work at the shop. He just loves the game, and he's like 3D printing terrain, so the shop has multiple tables, and
he does.
He's amazing. I love him, but also if you got one of those guys,
sing him. Yeah, it's the guy. I make the joke, and I am serious. I'm gonna nominate Chris, but also
don't do it.
It's important to reach out and nominate these people. And again, the link is in our episode. Go out there, go nominate your local heroes, get them the credit they deserve, because I mean, there's countless people out here that are doing everything they can for this hobby, and they do it because they love the hobby and they love to watch it grow and they love the community, and that's the only reason they do it. And those are our heroes.
Yeah. I don't know if it's still true this year because I haven't read the article yet, but I know in previous years, like if GW selected certain stories, they would like give little, prizes or whatever. That might be true, but I'm telling you right now, nominate that guy that's making your whole community work.
Yep.
Because even if he doesn't get some free cool product, if they just put him as like the, what do you call it? The special nominations or whatever, like the runner up. I forget what I'm losing my mind here.
Is it the Roll of Honor? No, that's the plaque that gets
no.
on the wall.
But there's like a thing of special mentions.
Oh yeah.
So like even if they just like put up your local guy who's helping your whole thing run, like the guy who's running your narrative league or whatever else, if they end up just like, hey, special, mention or whatever, these other guys, they didn't win, but also they're, we love all of you. Do you know how much that's going to mean to them? Mm-hmm. Like you think they're putting on a good narrative league for you now. If you go on the website, but hey, did you see? I put you in and you got like special mention and you're on like GW site. Man, they already do a lot for you. First off, they deserve that like feel good. I'm not even talking about the product, just the feel good.
Yep. I agree. This is why I mentioned it this episode, is because, well, one, the nominations just opened up. When you're hearing this, the nominations have been opened up for 2 days.
Yep. Go do it. I don't know how long it lasts, but
it lasts till February 27th.
Okay. So you got a little bit of time.
You got a little bit of time, but do it right away. I think there's a little typo in the article because it says February 27th and then later on it says January 27th. Come on, GW.
I know it ain't January 27th.
Yeah, because it literally just got announced on the 26th. But yeah, the beginning of the article says February 27th is the cutoffs. Go out there, go announce them. It takes literally 2 seconds. I've already opened it up and looked at the form. It takes 2 seconds of your time. The only important detail you need to know is their name and their email address. That's
ADHD time. It takes like 5 minutes. But
okay, yeah, you're right. Hyperfocus. But yeah, go out there, get them nominated. Let them know that you see them, that their efforts are absolutely worth it. Just go out there and support your supporters.
Yeah. Again, even just the emotional, like,
yeah, hey,
I like put you in and they selected your name. I'm telling you right now, that's going to mean a lot to them.
Yep. So, this podcast is all about teaching you a thing. We're going to teach you that right now.
Those guys matter.
Those guys,
a lot.
Those guys fucking matter.
Like again, don't get me wrong. I understand Aaron's going to nominate me, but he's a little special. Don't mind that. As much as I would appreciate it, like I'm not the thing here, right? Like your local group where you get to play, I would love and appreciate, you guys nominating me, but I am not the priority. Your local group, that's who you should be nominating.
Those local heroes, absolutely.
Because those are the guys they helped get you into the hobby. Maybe I'm helping you get better, and that's great and all, but also who got you into the hobby? Who's helping support the ability for you to keep playing and grow?
Mm-hmm.
As a quick side note, moving on from that, we also have the pre-orders going up this weekend. So by the time you're listening to this, we finally got the battle forces for the 4 different specialty Chaos Marines. I'm going to air quotes that because the corn one is mostly actual humans. We don't know what our allocations yet are. They'll have them up by Saturday or whatever, but I expect these to be a one and done. I expect them to also be kind of heavily allocated. So grab them while you can.
Yep.
That being said, I still, because I keep getting a ton of questions, I still have no idea. They have spoiled so many things. I still don't know when we're getting the new Votan character. I still don't know when we're getting some of the Maelstrom Combat Patrol pseudo things. But we're all kind of in the boat together. So as far as this week is concerned, we finally got the battle forces. So we'll start there.
Right. Well, with all that being said, Chris, you got anything else?
Nope. Get more games in.
Get more games in. Don't overreact. All right. Well, then, in that case, until next time, we'll see you later. Thanks for listening. Bye. Hey, everybody. It's Aaron. I want to thank you again for tuning in for this episode of Gopher's Workshop with us, hanging out and listening. Remember, leave a 5-star review. Let us know what you think. And if you feel like supporting us, you can always go to Patreon in the show notes below. Thanks. Till next time.